Hello everyone and welcome to our Government Masterclass. Today we're diving into a powerful force in politics you might not think about, but one that shapes decisions every single day. Pressure groups. Hey everyone, I'm Ahmed and I'll be your guide for government. Every single week from now until your exams, we're going to master a key topic to get you 100% ready for WAEC, JAMB, and NECO. Today we're tackling a big one. A topic that always comes up, pressure groups. So let's just jump right in. Have you ever wondered how ordinary people, like you and me, can actually influence what the government does without having to run for office themselves? Well, the answer lies with a very powerful tool, pressure groups. So what in the world is a pressure group? Well, you can think of it like this. It's an organized group of people who all want the same thing, and their whole goal is to influence government policy. But, and this is the most important part, you have to remember this. They don't actually want to be the government. They're not trying to win power. They just want the people in power to listen to them. And speaking of being heard, you want to make sure the examiners hear you loud and clear, right? The best way to do that is with daily practice. So do yourself a favor and subscribe to ExamKP.com. You'll get daily WAEC and JAMB exam questions, all completely explained. Okay, let's tackle the one thing that trips up students all the time on this topic. It's the big question that you're almost guaranteed to see on an exam. What is the real difference between a pressure group and a political party? This slide gives it out perfectly. Look, if you forget everything else, remember this. It's all about their objective. Pressure groups want to influence policy. Political parties want to win power and actually form the government. It's like one wants to be the coach yelling from the sidelines and the other wants to be the star player on the field, right? That one difference explains everything else. It's why they persuade and lobby. They don't contest elections. Alright, so we know what they are and what they aren't. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty. What kinds of pressure groups are out there, especially here in Nigeria, and what's in their toolbox? How do they actually operate? Okay, this is where it gets really practical for you guys. In Nigeria, you see these everywhere. You've got your sectional groups like the Nigerian Labour Congress, the NLC, fighting for workers' rights. And you have promotional groups, which are all about a cause that affects everyone, like environmental rights action. And of course, you've got professional groups like the Nigerian Union of Teachers and religious groups like CAN. These examples are gold for your exams. Make sure you know them. So how do they actually make their voices heard? Well, they've got a whole playbook of tactics. You see them lobbying lawmakers, talking directly to them. They'll organize demonstrations and marches. They can call for strikes in boycotts, which can be super powerful. They'll run big media campaigns to get the public on their side. They can even take the government to court. That's litigation. And sometimes they'll issue an ultimatum, which is basically a final warning. Okay, theory is one thing, but how does this stuff actually look when you're sitting in that exam hall? Let's break it down, starting with a classic essay-style question from WAEC. Alright, here it is, straight from the 2017 WAEC paper. Identify 5 merits of pressure groups in a democratic state. So, they're asking for the good things, the advantages. This is a super common type of question. If you want to nail this and get those top marks, here's what you write. First, they act as a check on government power, right? They stop things from becoming a dictatorship. Second, they can help expose and prevent corruption. Third, they provide really useful expert information for making laws. I mean, who better to ask about a new law for lawyers than the NBA, right? They also help shape policy. And really importantly, they educate the public on big issues. Bam! 5 solid points. Okay, let's switch gears to JAMB. Now, with JAMB, you're looking at multiple choice. The questions can seem easier, but don't be fooled. They are designed to test if you really get the core concepts. Check out this classic JAMB question. A major issue that distinguishes pressure groups from political parties is, then you've got your options. Now think back to that comparison chart we looked at. What was the absolute number one most important difference? And the answer is, of course, B, the objective. Look, don't let the other options confuse you. The major issue, the thing that defines them, is their goal. One wants to influence, the other wants to win power. It's the absolute core difference. All right, one more. Let's look at a NECO-style question. This one is going to test if you were paying attention to those different types of pressure groups we covered. Okay, the question is, an example of a promotional pressure group is, and you've got NLC, ASU, Campaign for Democracy, and NBA. So remember, what's a promotional group? It's one that fights for a general cause, not just for its members. So let's break it down. NLC, nope, that's for workers, sectional. ASU for university staff, sectional or professional. NBA for lawyers. The only one here that fits is C, Campaign for Democracy. See, they are fighting for an idea, democracy. That's supposed to benefit everyone. That's what makes it promotional. Whoa, okay, that was a lot of information, I know. So let's just pause and boil it all down to the absolute key things you need to walk away with for your exams. If you remember just one thing from today, let it be this little acronym, PINP. That's PINP. Pressure groups influence, not power. Seriously, burn that into your brain. It is the master key that will help you answer so many questions on this topic. And finally, let me give you some inside tips. First, always use clear numbered points. Second, use those Nigerian examples we talked about, the NLC, NBA, CAN. It shows the examiner you know your stuff. Third, explain your points. Don't just list them. And please avoid the most common mistake. Never, ever, ever write that pressure groups contest elections. They just don't. Now, if you are preparing for JAMB, WAEC, or NECO and you want to increase your chances strategically, Sure Banker is your advantage. You can access it right now at www.examkp.com. Pass with confidence, study with intelligence. Hey, if this session helped you out, could you do me a quick favor? Just hit that like button, share this with a friend who might need it, and of course, subscribe to our channel so you don't miss next week's masterclass. And remember, for a ton more practice questions and other resources, you can always visit www.examkp.com. Keep up the hard work, stay focused.